Folks, Spell does other works and channel update question mark. I am the Swine. I mean, this is not gonna be really a negative one per se. It's gonna be another newsy one about something negative happening in the world and my reaction to something going on in the current year. Go skip this if you need to. Nothing important's going to happen there. I'm going to be uploading this for another video today, I guess. I'm going to upload this. Yeah, Sunday, January 8th. Yeah, probably. But anyway, so today we're talking about the possibility of WotC, Wizard of the Coast, revoking the OGL 1.0A and replacing it with their own new improved version. They also made the OGL, so it's not really their, it's theirs to revoke because they didn't put a very certain word in the original agreement. And we're talking about that. Also, we're talking about why Green&Blue doesn't really use OGLs or anything like that. And it's for a lot of reasons, which we'll be going over in this video. But one of them is this, like, whole fiasco. Like, as people like Heath talking about it. Heath doesn't usually talk about this. It also has D&D Shorts talking about it. He doesn't talk about stuff like this. They don't really get into controversy that much. He kind of does every now and then. He's like us. He gets in it every now and then. Gets in the weeds. But yeah. So yeah, this has been going throughout the entirety of the D&D community, which is vast yet tiny at the same time. I assure you. So you may have heard of this. You may have not, depending on what you watch on this channel. And it's just time to discuss what Green&Blue kind of does with copyright in a way. Try not to get political, as always on this, as what we should have always been on this channel. But anyway, except in context, always context is more apparently. By the way. Green&Blue is a contradiction in so many ways, much like its owner is a contradiction. Not we don't stand for hypocrisy, but we do change our minds, kind of thing. But anyway, so the OGL is a document that allowed anyone to use the basic rules of D&D and basic rules of D&D and some components of D&D, monster, like enemies, races, classes, what have you, and their in whatever they were doing for third-party content, and make as much fun as they want. Didn't have to talk to D&D at all. Just copy and paste this one online document into their book or what have you, and just be at that. It was a really nice system. It was intended to last forever by the designers, but they forgot to put in a very special word. WotC knew this, of course, back in the day, because TSR, the original owners, the second owners of the D&D question mark, but the owners before WotC, because they exploded. The owners before WotC, as far as I know, of D&D, they were very nasty with copyright, and so was Gary Gygax, let's be honest. I believe Gary Gygax was nasty with copyright, but I'm not too sure on that one. I know TSR was. So much so when Gary Gygax wanted to make a spiritual consistent to D&D, TSR sued him for it. Because the thing was too similar, because it was D&D. But with different words. So yeah, that's another reason why we don't touch this kind of stuff. We don't sell. We don't sell. We do buy. We do indeed buy, but we don't sell. But anyway. What we don't sell here. But anyway, so a few days ago to a few weeks ago, Gizmodo released an article stating they have a leaked document from Wizards of the Coast that is a new version of the OGL, which was supposed to be just the OGL, but not changed in any way that anyone would dislike, or changed at all even, as regards to Wizards of the Coast official statements, which have yet to make an official statement since the leaking of the document and the whole D&D community exploding. But yeah, and in this document there's a lot of things that's really messed up, from a 25% royalty if you make over a certain amount. It is a really big amount, but it's also something that people do make regularly in this community, in the D&D, not really this community, but in the D&D community. I would say this community for TTRPGs, but no, in the D&D community, there's Kickstarters that easily go over 750,000 US dollars. And if you do that, you have to pay 25% unless you don't Kickstarter. That's 20% because you got Kickstarter, negotiate a better deal, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Which is stupid in a couple of ways. One, well, it's stupid in a lot of ways. For instance, here on YouTube and Amazon, they charge under 10%. I can't tell you the exact number, of course, but they charge under 10% royalty per them giving money to you. Whether it's Amazon for book sales or YouTube per view, they take a little bit off the top. Under 10%, which is fine. They host your content, and for Amazon, they print your books and ship them out, which is also a fee that you have to pay. Of course, you have to pay for the actual printing of the books, but yeah, and I'm okay with that because it's fine. It's like I can still undercut people and be fine. That might have to come to an end, unfortunately, because I want to actually work with local retailers like D3 Games and Collectibles to have my books on shelves, and I believe is needed to get the ball rolling. At least generate me some actual income to make the health insurance lower its prices a little bit from 500 a bit lower than that. But anyway, that's a discussion for another time, if at all. And another example is if all online store platforms besides like Epic Games and itch.io, the regular royalty, the tax free on the platform for everything sold, is 30%. That's no matter if you're on the Apples, the Androids, the Microsofts, Xbox and Windows, Steam, no matter where. If you're on that store platform, it's usually around 30%. The only difference is Epic Games, it's lower at 20%, and itch.io is, you ought to pay them if you don't want to. It's anything you want. It's any percent you want to pay itch.io, which I'm starting with 10% because that's what YouTube does, and I think that's fair. I think that's fair for me just starting out. I'll up it to 30%, if not more, later on if I really got a lot of traffic. If you know, like if itch.io is really nice to me, which they really are so far. They're actually a great platform. I don't know what the revenue split is what it's actually called. I don't know what the revenue split is with Deviant Art, as I never sold anything on Deviant Art, unfortunately. So I don't know. But I presume it's going to be roughly in between 10% and maybe less to 30%. However, they're all different than WotC in a lot of ways. For one, the platforms are different than WotC because they're actual platforms. They're protected by laws and whatnot, and all the legal stuff. WotC isn't. WotC is an IP holder charging you for using their IP instead of, you know, hammering you or letting you use it for free, which they were doing before. Ban hammering is what GW is doing, pretty much. And let's be facing Nintendo, Microsoft. Yeah, it does on certain days. EA never does for some reason. EA's weird. EA's the weird one. So greedy, it doesn't actually banhammer people for using their content. So weird. It's actually the reason why we got Command & Conquer Remastered. But anyway, so yeah. So like a platform, they host your content, they feed people to your content, they deal with everything from refunds and whatnot. WotC does not do that for you in their OGL. They don't do that. They're also not YouTube that hosts your content. They're not Amazon that prints your books. They are just a guy who owns the license to you, who owns the IP you want to use. In this case, the words not in the books even. You can't use the words in the books. Like you take the big 3 core books of D&D. You get the core books of D&D, and you want to make a game. You can't use these core books. They will still banhammer you and take you to court and rake you over the coals with legal fees if you used anything out of those books. However, they were ever so gracious, sarcasm, to put some of the stuff in the books into an OGL, and you can use the OGL for free. Back in the past, now it's free, but you have to sign up and sign an agreement. And we're going to get to the reasons why I don't like it. Yeah, the revenue split is something I take it or leave it. I don't think it truly matters. People say it does for Kickstarters because it's a surprise fee, but then again, you can adjust for it. Like you can say in the Kickstarter that if it gets over a certain amount, if we win by a certain amount, then we have to pay WotC 20%. That's not a huge deal for a new Kickstarter, I don't think, as long as they factor it in. But yeah, it can lead into some quality issues and people who didn't factor it in having issues because Kickstarter budgets can be very, very tight, except if you go over it by a ton. So if you were going on the 75, if your target was 75 for some reason, 7,500 for some reason, and then you wanted to, and that was your target, and you got that target just by like 1 penny more, then you have to pay 20%, and you have to drop the quality from what you promised because you didn't factor it in. However, if you did like 10 million for whatever reason, you got 10 million, and your original thing was 1,000, yeah, I don't think it matters. Because there's a certain bit where, as long as you go over your, as long as you didn't outprice your stretch goals, then you should be fine, right? But anyway. And then there is 50,000. If you go over 50,000, you gotta register with the with WotC, get your little golden star they put on your belt. I'm kidding. They're not that bad. I've seen worse copyright people than WotC. Okay, so they're not that bad yet. They're not on the likes of Nintendo, for instance, or GW. GW is the worst one. I'm pretty sure GW is the worst I've ever seen. Nintendo is like just bad. Nintendo's just bad. Nintendo is just bad. So Nintendo and Disney are just bad, whereas where GW is utterly terrible. GW WotC is actually pretty nice. Even now they're actually not that bad. Other than because they still allow like this points to myself with the cursor. Points to myself with the cursor like this, and make sure it's there. Yeah, there we go. I didn't get rid of it. Okay, it's not getting rid of itself. What fun. Like yeah, else like like anything that you would normally worry about as a YouTuber, you don't have to worry about. Unless you make paid content for D&D. Which is nice, because you can't do that with Star Wars without an official license or really trying to get around it. So D&D. So this is not that bad. It's bad for coming out now without the flow warning. Like if they gave you a year, it wouldn't be that bad. If they didn't have an obscene royalty, it wouldn't be that bad either. If it was, again, around, I would say 3%, 3 to 5% would be okay. Okay in the terms of being okay. Or they had to give, or they target 3 to 5% for anyone, and then they have to come to you, like that's the target, and they come to you and adjust it, based on who you are and whatever. So they have to come to you to get the royalty, instead of you going to them to pay them royalties, which is just stupid. Like, if they lower it to anyone who's making a living, like, how's it gonna work exactly? Because usually royalties on a license is usually a very personal thing between two companies, and this is like saying anyone that lives in my city has to pay a certain tax that I don't come to you for, you come to me. It's kind of a thing. It's kind of like a mob boss in a way. Not like an actual government, like a mob boss in a way. Even mob bosses go to people to collect taxes. Like, you go to people to get revenue split, or stuff. They don't come to you. Is one thing. I don't know if that works. They wouldn't really work legally either. Like, how are you supposed to pay them exactly? Is it like is it when you're reporting if you're reporting the revenue split, do you have to pay a tax, or else you lose your OGL? I don't know. And people saying it's not open in OGL. It's not an OGL anymore. It's a CGL because it's closed now. At least I interpret what they're saying like that. But anyway. So yeah. What really gets me though is they did the Sony and Ubisoft thing of getting rid of any content you post, of any content you make with the OGL is now their content. Just like any content you post on PSN, or any content you make from PSN, or any content, or post on PSN, or any content you post on Ubisoft's launcher on PC, is now their stuff. I don't like that. That is lack of control, which again, Green&Blue is a contradiction. By lack of control, I mean control of whoever's making the content gets to control their content. I, however, let people use my IPs however they want. But I control these files right here. You can use these files to make whatever you want. That's fine. You're not telling me how I use this content, and I'm not going to tell you how you use my content. Fair? Fair. So, and that's why I had this up, because I'm just showing you like all the original stuff I have going on, and this is just the first page of that. I've got that bug, that game, that bug, and that the Bible, that book, timeline, that book, lore, that book. Actually, it's one of these is that book, and then a guy with more books. Got a lot more to go through as well. So that's what I don't like. I also don't like... I think I forgot what I don't like next. Hold on. I'm not coming on this video yet. No, I didn't say it there. Didn't say it there. But there was another thing I didn't like. It wasn't the revenue split. That's to get or leave it, but I really didn't like another thing. We'll come back to that later. But I hinted at one thing that Green&Blue does is you are free. I need to put this in words I know somewhere. I need to put this in actual I might need to put this on every one of my things. Let's be honest. I do put it on every D&D post, every Deviant Art post. Don't do it on YouTube for some reason. I don't do it on YouTube for some reason. I really should. But you are free to use my stuff however you want. Period. End of story. You are free to use my stuff however you want. My stuff includes my stuff, their stuff, and anything coming out of Green&Blue as a Green&Blue product. You are free to use it however you want. So if you wanted to get the PDF of the latest the preview 13, I believe is the latest, the Sandbox edition for Arbitrary Strategies and Treaties, if you wanted to get that and make your own game out of it, nothing's stopping you. I won't stop you. Who else would? But yeah. I want people to use my stuff and make things with it. Just how things are. I'm specifically making Arbitrium and Durverse in a certain way to make it so people can use it however they want. That is just how I'm doing it. That's just what I want. Because again, without getting into more politics, but the reason why is I've just been fighting copyright ever since the start of the YouTube channel, and I've seen things die and get fought over by copyright for a good decade before that, and all my life basically, and it's just no fun. I get why it exists, and it can be good, it can be a force for good, but it's usually used for evil. Like, for example, taking Halo soundtrack, which is free to use by anyone, as said by Mario O'Donnell, the maker of the soundtrack, and then you going and copyrighting some guy's video, making it unable for him to make money off it, or even make money off it, let's be honest, because you are a jerk, and you believe you own the free-to-use soundtrack. That's why I get half, if not third, my 10,000 videos at this point is that way. It's been copyright ID'd, and they can't make money off it, and I don't want to give her the soundtrack in the video because I shouldn't need to in the first place. So yeah, just too many videos to go back through and try to get the thing on copyright ID'd. So yeah. I also see things go really badly, like fan projects that in no way competed with a IP holder's project. Like, for example, there's a mod for a Command & Conquer game that was going to bring Halo to Command & Conquer game. It couldn't happen because Halo Wars was going to happen. Yes, I would compete, but not in the way they would think. It would be completely different, yet it'd be completely different in every way. It's a mod instead of a full game. Yeah. The end of El Dorado. Again, Microsoft had good reason. It was competing with Master Galaxy, but again, it wasn't. Because it's not Master Galaxy, it's not letting you play the old games on PC. Both like to mod them, but they're all very, very, very different. Because El Dorado is a cursed development game, and it is very cursed. It's a Halo. They try to make Halo 4 on a Halo 3 engine, while also making it free to play, and for a Russian audience, and it was just crazy nonsense. What the game's actually like, and I love it. It's fun. But I can't show it on the channel because that'd be the death of me. And you never heard this. You hear me talk about it again, by the way. I never mentioned it. You didn't hear anything. Just saying. You also totally can't download it today, so don't bother looking for it, if you know what I mean. But anyway. So, yeah, that's why I have that stance with Green&Blue. Is that it's... my stuff is free for anyone to use. End of story. And yeah, and I don't want anyone to, and in order for me to protect it, that right of us, of any user of our content, is, and that does include you, is that I need to own it in order so I can say that you can use it however you want. So that's why, and that's one of the many, many reasons I'm a never seller. I was raised as one. My mom always gave me the advice of never sell. One of her big lessons to me, like a few years before death, was never sell. And I don't intend to. If anything, I intend to buy. Like, buy smaller companies away from big megacorps. That's like my megacorp. And let them be free. And let them be free. I buy the Golden Goose and have a Golden Goose collection of Golden Goose that I adore and keep and will take care of for eternity. Because that's just the right thing to do. I set out to help people, and that's what I do. And that's what I'll probably die doing. Not to get heavy or anything. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. And you know what? Let's boot up. Let's load. I have a stream here real quick. Oh, look, we have extra space. What haven't I used yet? I don't think I used dots yet. Oh, yeah, let's use dots for the most important bit. Is that commas? No, that's dots. The heck did... Why does it look so weird to me? Well, let's see. Okay, fine. That's fine. That's weird, but it's fine. You can photocopy anything's book. Very important. This game system and content is free for anyone to use. However you like. And I'm gonna need to, get a. I'm gonna need to look at look at some of the legal words to use, so I can actually, have this be binding. And I don't like permanence, mind you. But I think, of anything, this needs to be permanent. So, yeah. I'm gonna research them later. But at least, I think that works for right now. And it gets the intention across. And I don't plan on changing my mind at all. Never mind anytime soon. I haven't changed my mind in 27 years about stuff like this. So, why would I start now? But anyway, there you go. Hush, hush. Hush, little lady. We don't need you right now. So yeah, on page 2, you can find it right here with the photocopy and stuff. forever as long as Green&Blue is free. Bro. Alright. What's more impactful, R or your? Alright, so, with that, and that's strong hits. Let's get this so you can see the entire page. There we go. That's not the entire page. That's the entire page. Alright, so that'll be our first video. Thanks for watching. I appreciate watching all this content. This video means a lot to me. Lots of me. Check out our stuff in the description below, such as our sports channel, which works best for sports channel is by watching these videos, engaging content we produce, and by sharing with friends, family, and stuff. Alright, that'll be our first video. Thanks for watching. And I guess... Oh. I do really appreciate you, what... I know I say this from time to time. I haven't said it in a long time. But I really appreciate you guys watching these videos and engaging in all the content I produce nowadays. I know it's not for every one of you, all of it, all the content I produce. But I appreciate you guys sticking with us, no matter what I post to any of my... to my YouTube, to my Deviant Art, to my H.io page these days, which I should post to my H.io page. I should post this game to my H.io page. But anyway. I was planning on posting beta to the H.io page, but, you know. And that's really pretty. I like that. You know, it's set in stone. Because you have it on video. You can complain about it later if I do anything, if I become evil. But yeah. And I'm attaching it to the company, Green&Blue and stuff, me as instead of I as a person. But anyway. So again, I really appreciate you guys watching this stuff, and yeah, I'm working really hard to get you to bring out the games and the books, because I really do hope it will find an audience, not just with you guys, but with also people who can pay money for it, because I need an income. Especially if disability doesn't work out. If disability works, I can go on forever. But yeah, if disability doesn't work out, I need an income. And this is the only way I know how. Frankly, this is the only way I know how. So yeah, it's by creating content. But anyway. Alright, that video still. Thanks for watching. And I guess see you in a second.